This is keto friendly and high in protein. Last week on Instagram, I had so many requests about this recipe, so stay tuned and learn how to make it. So our first step is going to be combining our Quest protein powder. You're going to take a scoop to about a half of a cup of heavy cream, and you're going to mix that guy all up and put it over 2 bricks of cream cheese, full fat. This is keto friendly. We're then going to take our heavy whipping cream and we're going to start whipping that with some powdered confectioner sugar. This stuff is sugar-free, which is amazing. You can pick it up at your local grocery market. It works wonders and takes on like the same exact consistency. So we're going to start whipping that up, and remember to scrape your bowl as you go along. This is so important because you don't want all your ickies getting stuck. Keep whipping it and whip it until you can't whip it anymore. Seriously, you will see the consistency change. You'll get like this kind of like frosting like texture, and you might have to do it a couple times. And remember, don't add everything in at the same time. We're doing this in layers and gradually. So we're adding some whipping cream, then we're adding some powdered sugar again. Now we're going in with gelatin. Gelatin is really important to this recipe because it's going to stabilize it and kind of give you more of that not whipped cream consistency, but you know, a cheesecake consistency. Sorry, brain fart always. So we're going to keep whipping that. With your gelatin also, remember, dissolve it hot and let it cool down, and then kind of add a tiny bit in. If you see you need more, obviously add it, and continue just kind of gradually adding your powdered sugar and your whipping cream, all that good stuff. So we're going to keep whipping and going along with this beauty. Again, you will see that consistency change, and just make sure you are scraping your bowl and adding more sugar. Obviously do this to taste. I like also adding in my vanilla extract into my whipping cream ahead of time just so it kind of dissolves. So you're gonna see kind of my whipping cream is a little brown, but that's because I added it in. For my whipping cream, I'll usually use about 1.5 cups for this recipe, and a cup of artificial either confectioner sugar or stevia in with it as well. So our cheesecake filling is looking about where we want it to be. We're just going to kind of keep going through it and let it sit for a minute so you can see that's really where you want it to be. So our next step is obviously letting it sit for a few minutes and going back and checking on it. I really like where mine's at. So what I'm doing is grabbing a cup with a piping bag. You can also use a Ziploc and taking a spoonful and setting that aside. I promise we're going to use it later for something. I kind of have something in mind for this particular guy, but you don't want that set aside part to have any of the candy in it. So now we're going to start adding in our peanut butter chips. I chopped up some sugar-free peanut butter chips and put some baked sugar over that as well, just to kind of make sure they don't stick together. And what we're doing is we're doing this in 3 parts and we're folding it in. We don't want to deflate our whipped cream, so folding, not mixing, definitely, because we still want to maintain that texture and the consistency that we're looking for. So keep on going with that guy. And again, it is a process, but be patient with it, and I promise it will yield beautiful, beautiful results. So we are about done mixing that guy. You can kind of see how it looks. Again, you just want it to stay very fluffy and very spreadable. So we're going to take that away and we are going to make our crust. So I have a stick of butter, a cup of almond meal, and a cup of slivered almonds, and we're going to mix that together. If you want, at this point, you can add in about a tablespoon of stevia to sweeten your crust. I feel like the actual cheesecake filling is sweet enough. And also, of course, you do have those candies, so you really don't need to add anything else in, and you're just going to mix that up. Remember, it's going to look like a ton of butter at first and almost liquidy, but make sure you incorporate that flour because I promise you it will all blend in, and you're going to want that moisture also. Trust me, it's going to make it amazing. So you're going to take your pan, and then we're going to start pressing in all of our goodies. So this is, again, almond meal, almond flour, and optional stevia. So just start pressing that in. Honestly, you guys, I find that sometimes using your hands and patting it down is the best method. I got really, really lucky today because my crust was just so amazing and so easy to work with. That is not every single time. And like I always say on Instagram, everything is trial and error. So find what works best for you and then let me know. Email me. I need to know this stuff. So we are going to keep patting that down and getting it in there. And yeah, you guys, that's pretty much, it's pretty easy and pretty self-explanatory. So right now we're going to take this guy over to the freezer and get it ready to put the toppings on. So this guy is finally out of the freezer. It was only about 5 minutes. So now we're getting our cheesecake filling, and we are just putting that over there very liberally. Use the whole entire thing, and make sure it's room temperature too. It's really going to help when you actually spread this guy out. So again, very liberally, and we are going to use our cake icing method. So really treat this like you are icing a cake, and I know you have iced a cake before. And you really want it to be like a frosting-like consistency. I actually really think of this as like making buttercream back in the day, and how you just wanted it to be so smooth and so perfect. So that's really what it is. So that electric mixer helps, and also eyeing it as well. I can tell you to whip for 5 minutes, but it really depends on your mixer and how you like your cheesecake. So I have sugar-free Hershey syrup right here. Make sure it's refrigerated. It will pipe out beautifully if it's refrigerated. And you can see, this is just for decoration. Obviously, all of these steps from here on out are totally optional. You're going to decorate with some little sugar-free Reese's Pieces, or not Pieces, peanut butter cup stuff. And you're just going to kind of go all around. And of course, this is all optional. Me personally, I'm not a huge peanut butter person. My husband loves it. So the more peanut butter cups, the better, because he is going to be the person eating most of this. And he does follow a very strict keto diet, so that definitely helps as well. So we are going to take that frosting, or not frosting, cheesecake that we were talking about earlier. We're just going to do a dollop in the middle, and that is going to kind of be a riser for the rest of our giant peanut butter cups. I used Reeses and Russel Stover for these guys. They are both amazing and so low in carb and sugar-free. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you here soon. Have a good day. Bye.